2015, to allow the public to make representation to council respecting matters contained in Foreshore and Lake Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1294.03, 2018. Every person present who believes that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw shall be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard respecting matters contained in the proposed bylaw. None of you will be discouraged or prevented from making your views known. However, it is important that you restrict your remarks to matters contained in the proposed bylaw. When speaking, please proceed to the microphone and commence your remarks by clearly stating your name and address. If they wish, members of council may ask you questions following your presentation. However, the function of council at this public hearing is to listen to you rather than to debate the merits of the proposed bylaw. In accordance with the council procedure bylaw, presentations by members of the public shall be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes each. If a person has additional information that he is unable to provide within that time frame, he shall be given further opportunity to address council after all other interested members of the public have been heard a first time. Please refrain from applause or other expressions of emotion during this public hearing so that we may ensure as impartial a hearing as possible. After this public hearing is adjourned, council members will not speak to the public on this matter until after the matter has been dealt with at a public meeting. After this public hearing has concluded, council may, without further notice, give whatever effect council believes proper to the presentations made at this hearing. So the confirmation of advertising and posting requirements. Notice of this public hearing was given in accordance with the Local Government Act and the Community Charter by distributing the notice as follows. Publishing in 2 consecutive editions of the Osoyoos Times on April the 18th and April the 25th, 2018. Placing the notice on the bulletin boards in Town Hall and Planning and Development Services Department on April the 18th, 2018. Posting the notice on the town's website on April the 18th and distributed via e-news on April the 18th. And so with the bylaw, I'm going to ask for a report from our Director of Planning and Development Services, please. Ms. McKay.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Just very briefly, just a quick summary report that during the November 20th, 2017 regular open council meeting, council resolved to consider North Gyro Park as a potential location for the establishment of an inflatable water park, and further requested that the Okanagan-Whibbit Group present its proposal at a public open house. A public open house was subsequently held, following which at the January 15th council meeting, direction was given to staff to proceed with an application to the province for a license of occupation to allow Okanagan-Whibbit to occupy a portion of the waterfront area, as shown on the attached map. For those in the audience, there are maps on the sideboard there if you want to grab one and have a look at it. Town staff have now applied to the province for the appropriate license, and Okanagan-Whibbit is working with the province to obtain the required permits for working in and around the foreshore. So the area within which the inflatable water park will be located is currently Zone W1, public water use, in the Foreshore and Lake Zoning Bylaw. In order to locate in this area of the foreshore, we require rezoning to the W4 or the commercial moorage and inflatable park zone. What needs to be added is a site-specific use permitted in this area. So the proponents at Okanagan-Whibbit have now formally applied for the rezoning. Council recall it's gone to first and second reading. So the attached site plan identifies the approximate location of various equipment, including the water park itself, a temporary registration office, and 4 to 5 life jacket storage bins. The water park will be anchored and surrounded by swim markers installed by Okanagan-Whibbit. As previously noted, the applicant is also responsible for all approvals required by the province for installation of the water park. Implications for this proposal moving forward: for the community, an inflatable water park could be an asset for Osoyoos by serving as an additional attraction. The public will have further opportunities to provide comments and feedback at this public hearing, which is tonight. Town staff are coordinating with the province for tenure over this portion of the waterfront. The new tenure will include a request for consent to sublease to the applicant, and the applicant is responsible for all fees incurred as a result of this licensing with the province. In addition to Okanagan-Whibbit's financial responsibilities, which include liability insurance, lease fees, property trusses, and application permit fees, lease payments for the use of the municipal land will also apply. And any additional costs incurred for environmental assessments will also be the responsibility of the applicant. Town staff are moving forward with the rezoning in order to help facilitate Okanagan-Whibbit's target opening for the summer of 2018. However, timing for the opening of the water park is dependent on various factors, such as obtaining the necessary approvals from the province and the outcome of the Foreshore and area rezoning process. As far as sustainability is concerned, Section 11 approval, that's approval under the Water Sustainability Act for changes in and about a stream is required, and Okanagan-Whibbit is now in the process of obtaining the necessary provincial approvals. And the preparation of an environmental impact assessment will be at the discretion of the province. And so staff are recommending that we move ahead with this, obviously, the public hearing. And just for council's information as well, I have contacted Ministry of Transportation, and they will be required to sign off on the bylaw after third reading. If council were to grant third reading of the bylaw, it would then be forwarded to Ministry of Transportation for their approval.
Thank you very much. So there is a summary of a staff report, which I'm going to read. The purpose of this meeting is to seek public input on Foreshore and Lake Zoning Bylaw Amendment number 1294.03, 2018, which received first and second readings on April the 3rd. The proposed amendment in this bylaw amend Schedule A, Foreshore and Lake Zoning Map, as follows: extending the W4 commercial moorage zone into the W1 public water use. And number 2, add commercial inflatable water park as a permitted use in only that portion of the W4 zone as mentioned above. So I assume that I should read we only got the one letter should I read this letter out? Is that, or are there copies that people can see? I'm sorry, it wasn't quite
It
sure.
was distributed in time, but you can read it out if you wish.
Okay. Has everybody seen it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do the people, maybe I'll read it out because people at home may want to know. This is from Robert Johnson, and it was received yesterday, the day before. I wish to object to its location. I wish to support the concept. The location off the north end of Gyro Park is the wrong location for safety, developers' equipment damage, boaters, and other existing users of this waterway. There are better locations for water depth, parking, and customer location. It is not in keeping with the sailing, paddleboarding, wind, and kite sailing taking place in this designated wind and paddle area of the park accent to this new activity. The gyro location has the fastest current, 2 to 3 foot waves, and winds exceeding 50 kilometers an hour during the summer. Need there be more negative reasons? This concept is great. Find a suitable location. Thank you, Bob Johnson, active water sports person who's utilized this location for 14 years. So I'm now going to do the public presentations, and I will ask for if the applicant would like to speak to this first. Mr. Gallagher? No. Okay. So I will open it up to anyone who would like to come up to the microphone and have 5 minutes to express your views on this. Is there anyone who would like to come up to the microphone? Please do. Would you please give your name and address first? Thank you.
Robert Johnson. It's 10417 87th Street in Osoyoos.
I apologize. I should have let you. This was your letter. You could have talked about it. Okay, go ahead.
I think you've expressed my concerns in the reading of the letter. I unfortunately was not here in January for I believe it was the second reading at that time.
No, but in January, there was a public meeting where the Whibbit, am I correct? That was when the meeting was? in
Yeah,
Jan-
but, and.
There was a survey.
Yeah.
There was a quite a long public meeting at the Sonora Center where members of the family who are wanting this application spoke to the public on various issues for quite some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies,
Yeah,
because
no,
I
that's
wasn't able to be there. I guess my questions have not been resolved then that I addressed in the letter. I think we're going to see ultimately a lot of kids or people involved in it. I believe if the person having it can explain, everyone on the area is going to have life jackets, I believe.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. When we get our really strong winds that come in the summertime, how are we going to control what happens to the kids? I mean, is there a boundary that I
believe that they will shut them down. And I'm wondering if the comments that were made at that last meeting that Mr. Gallagher was at are posted on our website anywhere. Do you know? No. And I don't think you were even in town yet, so I don't think you.
Thank you, Mayor McCurdoff.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The information was on our website before I arrived here, and it's sort of been front and center for the last 3 months at least. So I'm not sure if it's still on that. A couple other things sort of took over.
No,
so to speak, but I'm not sure if it's still there.
Mr. Romanko?
Well, I think the purpose of the public hearing is not to go through all the information. That was the public consultation. If Mr. Johnson would like to come to the office, I think we probably could pull together the report that came out of the public consultation, and that would provide for all the explanation, the operations, and that was all explained in January.
Mm-hmm. It was about a 2-hour meeting, so it was very well explained at that time.
So then the councillors are well aware of all of those items. So,
yes.
Tonight, I'm only asking for the answers for the questions that I just brought up,
Would
which I don't think are too many.
Would it be appropriate if Mr. Gallagher answered those questions now?
You know, and he might wish to, but I do believe he's answered a lot of them, and it might help you, Mr. Johnson, to come to the office, and we could certainly find you that information or tell you where to look for it. I believe a lot of them are answered. Mr. Gallagher, do you?
I'm more than happy to meet with you after the meeting if you like and answer any questions right now.
Oh, would that be?
Yeah, that's great. But I understand this is a third reading.
No, this is a public hearing. There may not be anything after this meeting.
Okay.
We could choose to do something or not. Okay. So we're only here to listen to the public tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to lend my support for the concept. I think it is absolutely phenomenal that the community could have this type of activity. Mm-hmm. I just ask that the council look deeply into this. I do believe there could be insurance things down the road. There are other existing users, which, is adjacent to this area. And I was just kind of surprised. I haven't myself heard anything, or I'm not sure that the sailing club has heard anything in reference to this. So I'm just curious if there's a communication thing going on there.
I think that they all have had opportunity to find out from Mr. Gallagher about this and from the town. Okay. And many areas, this has been going on for 2 years, something like that, and various places in the lake were looked at. Yes. This was not the first choice, probably for the reasons that you have mentioned, but there were several other areas that were looked at and were not appropriate for various reasons. That's why this was felt that it was the best place.
Thank you.
So I think you should take Mr. Gallagher up on his offer to meet him after, because I'm sure he'd be able to answer your questions. He handled them very carefully.
Thank you for this opportunity,
okay.
And I'd just like to leave you with that there still are other issues to do with parking. We have a town that is potentially building a pier right in the same area, and we already have existing fullness in the parking. Thank you.
We certainly understand that and have looked at it. Thank you very much. Did you have anything? No. Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to come up to the microphone and speak on this issue? No? I will ask for a second time if there's anyone who would like to come up to the microphone and speak. And I will ask for a third time if anyone would like to come and speak. And hearing none, I will declare that the public hearing is closed at 7:18. Thank you very much.